Greetings, friends. In today's video, we're going to discuss an ancient yet ever-relevant Jewish holiday, Passover, also known as Pesach. We'll explore its history, symbols, rituals, and deeper meaning, from the dramatic story of the Exodus to the personal, spiritual lessons it still teaches us today. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, it's a pleasure. Remember to check out my book, links in the description below. If you enjoy this video, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future discussions. The story of the Exodus is a classic. Moses, Pharaoh, blood, frogs, hail, the splitting of the sea, and the liberation of an enslaved nation from their oppressors. This is what we celebrate during the springtime holiday of Passover, also called Pesach. After a thorough round of house cleaning, we sit down to eat matzah, bitter herbs, and drink 4 cups of wine. We ask 4 questions, tell many stories, and enjoy sharasset made of apples and nuts. But beneath all these traditions, what really is Passover, and why do we celebrate it? At the heart of Passover is the Seder, a 15-step ritual meal shared with family and guests. At the center of this meal is the Haggadah, the traditional text that guides the Seder. It begins by reminding us of our spiritual beginnings. In the beginning our fathers served idols, it says, not a glamorous origin story. But the narrative quickly turns to redemption, declaring that now God has brought us close to serve Him. The story of how we arrived in Egypt is complex. It involves colorful coats, sibling rivalry, and divine providence. The Jewish people, numbering just 70, descended into Egypt during the time of Joseph. There they settled, first as shepherds, and eventually as slaves. Over time, their population grew substantially. Pharaoh saw this and responded with cruelty. He oppressed the Israelites, forcing them into hard labor with bricks and mortar. Worst of all, he ordered every newborn Jewish boy to be cast into the Nile. Amidst this cruelty, one baby, Moses, was miraculously saved. Raised in Pharaoh's own household, Moses later fled Egypt after killing an Egyptian taskmaster. He married, became a shepherd, and encountered God in a burning bush. There, God commanded him to return and lead the people out of slavery. Pharaoh, however, refused. This led to the 10 plagues, miraculous acts of divine judgment designed to break Pharaoh's will. The final and most devastating plague was the death of the firstborn. But before it struck, God commanded the Israelites to offer a lamb or goat, an animal considered sacred by the Egyptians, and to mark their doorposts and lintels with its blood. This act of courage and faith became the turning point. God saw the blood and passed over the homes of the Israelites, sparing their firstborn. This is the origin of the name Passover. That same night, the Israelites gathered for a special meal, roasted lamb, matzah, and bitter herbs. In the wake of this final plague, Pharaoh relented. He allowed the Israelites to leave. At daybreak they departed, carrying with them unrisen dough that, in the heat of the sun, baked into flat, hard matzah. But Pharaoh changed his mind. He chased after them, overtaking them by the Red Sea. At this critical moment, the Israelites marched forward in faith. The sea miraculously split, allowing them to pass. When the Egyptians followed, the waters returned, drowning them. Free at last, the Israelites made their way to Mount Sinai. There, God gave them the Torah, establishing a covenant that made them His special people. Every year since then, Jews commemorate these events through rituals rich with symbolism. One of the most well-known is the removal of chametz, any food that has leavened or risen. This includes bread, pasta, beer, and anything containing fermented grain, even bagels. The tradition is taken seriously. Any remaining chametz is sold, often with the help of a local rabbi or online facilitator. Before Passover begins, a thorough search of the house is conducted to ensure not a crumb remains. Whatever is found is burned. For the duration of the holiday, we live in a chametz-free environment, eating only unleavened foods. On the first night of Passover in Israel, and the first 2 nights elsewhere, the Seder serves as the centerpiece of the celebration. It is an experiential retelling of the Exodus. The evening begins with the lighting of festive candles and the setting of a special table. We eat matzah, with special reverence for the handmade round shmura matzah. We drink 4 cups of wine or grape juice, eat bitter herbs, enjoy a festive meal, and conclude with the afikomen, a final piece of matzah eaten as dessert. The evening is filled with songs and praise to God, and particular effort is made to involve children. The 4 questions, typically asked by the youngest present, open the floor for discussion and storytelling. These foods and questions are not just ritual, they are tools to relive the miracles of the past. The Seder reminds us that in every generation, each person is obligated to view themselves as though they personally left Egypt. The Exodus is not merely ancient history. It is not confined to 1 week in the spring. Rather, it is a foundational memory meant to be carried all year long and reflected in daily life. Hasidic teachings delve even deeper into the meaning of Passover. The Hebrew name for Egypt, Mitzrayim, shares a root with the word for boundaries and constraints. Every individual faces their own internal Egypt, fears, habits, and limitations that keep them confined. Passover teaches that the Jewish soul is capable of breaking free from these restraints. The Exodus was not only a national liberation, but a blueprint for personal transformation. Each year, and indeed every day, we are invited to leave our own inner Egypt behind. As we recall the redemption from slavery, we are reminded that we too can grow, change, and rise above our own boundaries. In this way, Passover is not just a celebration of past freedom, it's a call to ongoing spiritual freedom. I hope this gave you a deeper understanding of what Passover is really about, beyond just matzah and plagues. It's a celebration of freedom, faith, and growth, both as a people and as individuals. The story of the Exodus isn't locked in the past. It's something we're meant to live with, reflect on, and carry forward into every part of our lives. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any future content. And if you're interested in learning more, check out my book, link in the description below. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and Chag Pesach Sameach. Have a meaningful and joyful Passover.